Welcome to Celestial Horizons, Operation Empty Magazine. What you're about to participate in is an interactive adventure. We're dropping you into the shoes of someone living in 2721 in the solar system of Hypatia. At critical moments, you'll be prompted to select a path in the description of the video, based on what decision you'd like the character to make. At the very end, you'll be given a link where you can report what outcome you got, if you'd like. Whatever outcome is most reported by 11:59 p.m. Mountain Standard Time on Monday, October 25th, will become canon and will go on to shape the events in Midnight Sentry, the podcast that begins next week. So, as you now go to brave the void, good luck and Godspeed.
When long after dark, the call finally comes, you're ready. They have you in head-to-toe black tactical gear and have strapped a Reno 84 assault rifle to your chest. You're out of the unmarked building you've been staying in and into the cargo hauler on the street in a flash. Inside it are 14 others dressed just like you, with glassy helmets and black boots. You have no idea who any of them are, and probably never will. The door of the vehicle closes behind you. You've been on Ebra Station for 3 weeks waiting. You've already disassembled and reassembled your rifle and tactical gear 17 times since they arrived in a package a week ago. You did this not because you were nervous, you're not, but because you didn't know how many more ads you could take coming from the other side of that paper-thin wall, telling you how wonderful life is. But you can't complain too much when your employer paid for lodging and food in addition to the ridiculously large sum you'll receive when this is done. The contact who coordinated this job, and most of your jobs of late, just messaged you a date and an amount. You know them only as Zed.
This will not be a solo gig,
They said.
You're going to be closest to our target destination, so keep an eye on it while you wait for us to pick you up.
They put you on a part of the station on the edge of two worlds. On one side of your building was a beautiful fenced park with the towering, glassy buildings of the financial district in the distance. On the other side, lackluster public tenement houses and streets swimming in scents of urine and belter grass. But most importantly, within walking distance was the ground entrance to a docking bay for spacecraft under governmental lock and key. You watched it carefully, keeping notes about guard shifts, vehicles that regularly passed in and out, and the people who approached on foot. Based on the schematics Zed sent you, you had guessed that you're here
Mission
to...
objective?
Their voice comes simultaneously over the speakers in your transport vehicle and smoothly into your helmet.
Take over the ESS Antigone. It's a destroyer from the Belt War, only one of its kind.
Called it.
We've got 5 teams of 3.
In the corner of your helmet screen appears the word Echo in red letters.
Each team will secure a designated location. Alpha, the bridge. Bravo, comms room. Charlie, room A13, deck 4. Delta, the railgun control room. And Echo, the armory. Seal all exits. Keep blood to a minimum. We'll need the crew to maintain the thing. There's only a skeleton crew on board as is. Probably encountered alone or in pairs.
On the screen before you, a schematic appears, showing where you will arrive and lighting the way to the armory.
You arrive in 2 minutes. As the Antigone has not been deployed in over 4 years, the crew on board will be limited to maintenance staff and holding teams. No one, I repeat no one, gets off this ship. No calls are made. Docking authorities and ring security won't be interfering. Once all areas have been secured, we'll send you the next steps. Keep us all updated. Any questions?
What's room A13?
You don't need to know that.
Echo 2 and Echo 3, your team members, seem perfectly competent. Wonderful. Not too much to handle. You're not worried about the fact that you don't know them. With how well this job is paying, they're at least as good as you are. In a moment, the vehicle doors open again, and you're running down the dock towards the boarding ramp of the ship you're taking. In a heartbeat, you're there. 15 armed and highly trained combatants fanning out and breaking into groups. You guide your team through empty corridors and past open security checkpoints with only the sounds of your boots on metal echoing through the ship.
Alpha Team has shut and sealed all exterior doors.
You don't know any of these people, and while that is a little unnerving in some senses, it's freeing in others. No attachments mean you've got freedom after the job is done, and it really comes in handy if there are any casualties.
Beta Team has hostiles on the comm deck.
That explains the pinging you hear. Comms isn't too far from the armory, but you're not nervous. To you, gunfire is as commonplace as text messages. You hold up one fist. The armory is around the next corner. You flip a switch, and a tiny rod extends from the barrel of your rifle to the corner, a miniature camera to peek with. Your helmet is fed with an image of a long corridor and... Just across from the armory is a room with an open door, bathing that section of the hallway with white light. A placard on the doorway reads, "Main Security Station." You count at least 4 voices. Are half of the skeleton crew in there? Your miniature camera peeks around the corner of that entryway. There are 5 people seated around a table, finishing off plates of food. From this angle, 2 of them have muckas, standard issue sidearms, but don't appear to be ready to use them. You flash a short sequence of hand signs to your team, telling them what you're seeing. They should know the drill. Follow you in, search them for weapons, shoot anybody who tries to be a hero. You move.
Get on the ground! Hands where I can see them!
They're smart enough to comply, and your people confiscate not 2, but 3 firearms. You can never be too careful.
You're only still alive because we don't want to clean you up off the floor. Do something stupid and we'll make your friends mop you up.
Now everyone is on the ground, face down, hands out in front of them. One of your team members moves to tie them. That was the armory door, sliding shut. You whip around, tell your team to hurry up and take cover. Someone is inside. You swap to the general comm channel.
Zed, this is Echo 1. We've got 5 here in the security station, but someone just slipped into the armory. How many are we missing?
You've got 5? That leaves 2 unaccounted for.
2 potential hostiles. There's at least one of them in there, and they're likely to have a weapon. You're gonna have to move fast. You have a choice to make regarding how you approach this. The armory is big, with a number of places somebody could take cover, so going in there will kick off a deadly game of hide and seek. While you will have to leave one of your team to watch the captives, you can take the other one with you, which greatly improves your odds of finding this rat before they find you. Or you can put that second team member in the hallway and bank on the fact that you're a world-class marksman and a career special forces operative. And this is probably some scrawny janitor. That leaves 2 sets of eyes on the captives and makes it more likely that they'll catch the second missing crew member if they're nearby. To take a team member with you, leaving one to watch the captives, choose Path A. To leave them both to handle the captives and watch for the other renegade crew member, and go in yourself, choose Path B. You've chosen Path A, to take a team member with you. You flash them a series of hand signals, and Echo 2 immediately moves into position. Leaving Echo 3 behind with the captives, now face down on the ground, the 2 of you move forward. A textbook entrance on your part, you sweeping right, Echo 2 sweeping left, using infrared optics in your helmet to paint the room in varying shades of red. No sign of anybody. There. Both you and Echo 2 focus in where that came from. Fanning out seems to have driven them into the corner. All you see are layers of heavy weapons lockers and glimpses of somebody hiding behind them. They're smart, choosing a location where you can't flank them. No easy takedown here. This person knows what they're doing, at least a little bit. That was from behind you, probably where Echo 2 and the captives are. You recognize the sound as coming from a Reno 84, the same kind of rifle you carry now, and not a handgun. Meaning, it was probably your guy shooting someone else. You don't flinch.
Somebody tried to be a hero.
A shame. While you have a slightly better angle, you gesture for Echo 1 to start talking.
Listen, bud, we've got 4 more of your friends out there. Make us come in there and get you, and we'll make it so only 3 of you attend your next birthday party. Capiche? Put the weapon down and come out with your hands up, and we'll let you keep your brains inside your head, yeah? Last offer.
You don't have time for a standoff. They could be using a communicator. Or that second rogue crew member could show up with a weapon. Or the team member you left outside alone could have problems.
How do I know you won't just shoot me when I come out?
There are 2 possibilities. Either he's stalling, asking questions that really don't matter to buy himself some time, or he's genuinely panicking and not thinking straight. Like he isn't used to being chased at gunpoint and having coworkers shot by strange people in black tactical gear. Echo 2 is wondering the same thing and glances over to you. You have a choice to make. You can decide to advance towards this crew member, risking either you or Echo 2 getting shot, but ending this standoff quickly. That route unfortunately ends with 1 less crew member. Your other option is to keep talking, convince him to come out, which gives him time to do something, if that's what he's doing. And also means you leave your guy outside alone for longer. But at least you won't be charging the wrong end of the weapon that way. To leave cover and advance towards the crew member, choose ending 1A. To keep talking and convince him to come out, choose ending 2A. You've chosen Path B, to leave both of your team members behind. You flash them a series of hand signals, and Echo 3 continues tying the captives, while Echo 2 watches the scene in the halls. You move into the armory, alone. Now you're tense, adrenaline sharpening your senses and focusing your attention. The infrared optics in your helmet paint the room in varying shades of red. No sign of anybody. Just a sprawl of heavy weapons lockers and equipment racks. You fixate on the direction where that sound came from, the opposite side of a large central munitions storage container. It runs floor to ceiling, leaving you without a line of sight to that side of the room. This crew member is over there, somewhere, with a loaded weapon. You know the schematic of the room well, and can confidently say that they have as little cover as you do. That was either the safety or a change in firing mode. You would guess they have a rifle, and it wouldn't take a sharpshooter to hit you with an automatic weapon at 5 meters. You've got to do this carefully.
Somebody here was trying to get smart on Echo 2 just now. Do I have permission to shoot if they even move a pinky again?
Good. Echo 3's question is more of a scare tactic, so it's not important you respond. You tune them out and focus again on this quiet standoff in the armory.
You're gonna be the one to clean up if I have to shoot Isaac here. You got it?
You have a choice to make. If you step as softly as you can, your boots won't clang on the floor. You can take a gamble and quietly round a corner. It's a 50-50 shot you wind up behind them, and can use your gun to convince them to put their weapon down, taking them captive. Lose those odds, and the only thing you'll be taking is a bullet. If it works out, though, you'll stop them before they can cause any problems for the mission. On the other hand, you can fall back quietly to a more defensive position and wait for them to come out. It'll take longer, but you'll be safer, and your 2 team members outside can cover for each other. There's only one entrance to the room, so they can play with guns all they like, but when they take their first tiny step to your side of the room, you'll be lined up, ready to shoot. To advance and try to capture them, choose ending 1B. To take a defensive position and wait for them to come out, choose ending 2B. You've chosen ending 1A to leave cover and advance toward the crew member. You give the sign. This guy is stalling and you need to end this right now. After all, Echo 2 even told them it was going to be their last chance. Echo 2 goes first, stepping in front of you and moving straight towards the target. You are right on his heels, crouched, waiting for the person to respond to the sudden noise. You've got to prioritize speed over stealth if you've got any chance here. In the span of a heartbeat, the situation resolves itself. There, the barrel of a rifle swings into view. The crew member leans out from cover to fire. You and Echo 2 pull your triggers. You're critical of this person's form. Their movement was sloppy. They didn't give themselves enough space to maneuver their weapon. But bad form doesn't stop bullets from flying. Your 3-round bursts are met with automatic fire, a spray across the short gap you're covering. All 3 of your rounds enter near the shoulder and clavicle of the crew member, and they're thrown backwards from the force of the impact. 2 of their rounds sail over your right shoulder. You hear the ceramic bullets shattering on the walls and ceiling as their gun keeps firing even after they've been hit and are going down. 2 rounds impact Echo 2, and they stumble and drop down to one side. You step over them, rounding the corner, and fire one more burst at the crew member on the ground. His gun goes silent as he goes limp. On the ground, a phone. An unfinished message still visible on its cracked screen. You caught him before he was able to alert anybody. Echo 2's body armor certainly saved their life, but it looks like both rounds still penetrated their chest area. You help prop them up and call this in.
Zed, this is Echo 1. We neutralized one crew member in the armory. Stopped him from sending a message. Another one tried to resist, so mark us as taking out 2. Echo 2 took some hits. Send us the nearest medic.
Copy that. Medic is en route.
Now that you look at it more closely, Echo 2 isn't doing so well. It's a toss-up if they'll pull through or not. You suppose that depends on how good Zed's medic is. Either way, the first part of your job is done. The ship has been secured. And...
Launch procedure initiated. All hands, flight stations.
And now, you just have to sit tight and help keep the crew in line until Zed takes this wherever he's going. Could be a couple of weeks. Who knows? And quite frankly, you don't care. You don't get paid to ask questions. Looking at the armory as you make your way back to check on Echo 2, you're glad you don't get paid to clean up after stuff like this. No, you get paid to storm rooms and pull triggers. You've got an ending 1A, a little messy. If you would like your actions to affect what becomes canon in the Celestial Horizons universe, and the story of Midnight Sentry, our podcast that releases next Wednesday, follow the Report Your Results link below and fill out the form. Tell us that you got ending 1A, a little messy. Also, check out the conclusion below to get a sense of our next Choose Your Own Adventure module series, featuring an ongoing multi-video narrative. You've chosen ending 2A, to keep talking and try to get him to surrender. You give the sign to keep going, and Echo 2 nods.
Listen, bud, you can either come out and hope we don't shoot you, or you can stay in there and know you're gonna die. I'm gonna give you 10 seconds to make the obvious choice.
Okay, I'm putting the gun down.
There we go. Slide it out where we can see it, nice and slow. Now come out with your hands up. Anything funny, and I give you some new breathing holes, okay?
You watch with your weapon as Echo 2 searches them for any knives, pistols, or other surprises.
I'll take them to the others.
You nod. You'll be right behind them. You just step forward quickly, grab his weapon from the ground, and sling it over his shoulder. Just as you're about to leave, a tiny patch of blue light catches your eye. There, in the corner where he was hiding, stashed between two cabinets, is a phone. Its screen still glowing. You pick it up. The screen reads, "Message sent." That's not good. You radio it up.
Zed, this is Echo 1. We've captured that crew member alive, though another tried to resist. So Marcus is taking one out. This guy sent off a message to a Leslie Gallagher, his partner from the looks of the conversation.
Copy that. Team Delta got the last crew member, so the ship is secure. Repeat, the ship is secure. We'll be in the air any minute now. I'll pass that up to our employer, but it shouldn't affect us too badly. We'll be long gone before she can do anything about it.
That's good to hear. You silently curse yourself, though. This is going to reflect poorly on you with Zed. You think of any number of ways you could have been just a little bit faster. It's always harder when they tell you to keep people alive.
Launch procedure initiated. All hands, flight stations.
And now, you just have to sit tight and help keep the crew in line until Zed takes this wherever he's going. Could be a couple of weeks. Who knows? And quite frankly, you don't care. You don't get paid to ask questions. You are a little disappointed you didn't get to fire your weapon, though. Reno 84s are a lot of fun. You've gotten ending 2A, a loose signal. If you'd like your actions to affect what becomes canon in the Celestial Horizons universe, and the story of Midnight Sentry, our podcast that release next Wednesday, follow the Report Your Results link below and fill out the form. Tell us you got ending 2A, a loose signal. Also check out the conclusion below to get a sense of our next Choose Your Own Adventure module series featuring an ongoing multi-video narrative. You've chosen ending 1B to attempt to flank this crew member and capture them. You try and determine which way you're going to go. Left, around the storage column, or right. Judging by the proximity of the sounds, they're standing close to it. One way, you get behind them. The other, you walk right in front of their gun. There's no use worrying about it. Chance is what it's going to be, regardless of your anxiety. So you arbitrarily pick a direction. Right. This leaves them with an opening to make a break for the door, where you've got two team members ready to gun down anybody unexpected. Either way, this is going to come to a head. You creep forward, shutting off the airflow on your helmet so the pumps don't give you away. Your weapon is already prepared to fire. Your eyes scan for any movement. Your ears augmented by microphones in your helmet. As you approach the corner, you can hear them breathing. But are they facing you or not? You don't have time to pause, stopping your forward momentum, however slight it might be right now, risks making noise as your equipment shifts. At this range, with adrenaline pumping through them, they may be able to pick up on that. No, slow, consistent movement is going to be more effective and safer than stopping. You strain for any indication that they are moving, any shifting of clothes to indicate that they're turning or glancing back and forth. But they appear to understand the hunt as well. They are almost perfectly still, only their breath telling you where they are at. It all comes down to this next moment. You face the corner and step laterally around it, minimizing the amount of time you are exposed before you can shoot. You see him, half crouched next to the wall, just 2 meters away, eyes wide and barrel pointed in your direction. He's no expert, but he's at least trained enough to be able to pull the trigger instead of jumping in surprise at your sudden appearance. You squeeze your trigger, Feel the kick of the rifle, register the gyroscope inside it, stabilizing your shots, and see the flash from his muzzle. That's the last thing you see. You've got an ending 1B, a single flash. If you'd like your actions to affect what becomes canon in the Celestial Horizons universe, and the story of Midnight Sentry, our podcast that releases next Wednesday, follow the Report Your Results link below and fill out the form. Tell us that you got ending 1B, a single flash. Also, check out the conclusion below to get a sense of our next Choose Your Own Adventure module series, featuring an ongoing multi-video narrative. You've chosen ending 2B, to wait for him to expose himself and gun him down when he does. You silently back up and take cover near the side wall. You can see the only exit to the room. This could take a very long time, but you're confident your team outside can handle things. It's no use rushing and getting yourself killed. You wait for a long while. After a minute or two, this crew member you're hunting begins to move. You think you hear him open some sort of container over there, move something across the ground, grab an extra magazine or two. Are they trying to barricade themselves in? If you hear them really trying to exert themselves, you'll move up and take them out. They couldn't hope to move some of the metal containers on their own, and even the smallest ones would need both of his hands. You write a message to your team, letting them know what's going on, and listen very carefully, trying to discern what it is he's doing by sound alone. Tossing a magazine on the ground?
Launch procedure initiated. All hands, flight stations.
That's not him. It looks like your people have gotten the rest of the ship under control. But that's going to make hearing him a lot harder. What is beeping? Is he dumb enough to leave his phone on? You creep forward. He's obviously distracted now. Wait. You know that. Breaching charge. A small portable explosive used to blow holes through the bulkheads. You rush forward to find a new hole in the wall, metal blown inward, and no sign of this individual. As your audio enhancement microphones kick back in, you hear pounding footsteps on the other side. You look through, into the maintenance tubes, just in time to see the crew member rounding a corner at full sprint. You spring onto the comms.
He's in the rat tube, heading towards junction Alpha Kilo 97.
You call.
I'm pursuing.
You haul yourself through the hole and give chase, cursing at yourself for holding back. You round the corner and see nothing. You step forward and find a number of wiring tunnels spiraling out in a web from your position. He could have slid down any one of them.
He is armed. May have breaching charges. Seemed to know where he was going. Probably an engineer of some sort.
Copy that. Hold there in case he doubles back. Alpha, Bravo. Send 2 people each to the closest rat tube junctions.
You hate that. Other teams getting called in to clean up your mess while you have to sit and wait some more, holding the line in case this person decides to show back up. You may not get another job with Zed or any of his contacts after this. You've gotten ending 2B, a gaping hole. If you'd like your actions to affect what becomes canon in the Celestial Horizons universe and the story of Midnight Sentry, our podcast that releases next Wednesday, follow the Report Your Results link below and fill out the form. Tell us that you got ending 2B, a gaping hole. Also, check out the conclusion below to get a sense of our next Choose Your Own Adventure module series, featuring an ongoing multi-video narrative.
Thank you for joining us for Operation Empty Magazine, part of Celestial Horizons. In case you didn't pick up on it, we decided to kick things off for this next iteration of our project by having you play the bad guys, as it were, helping us set the stage for the openings and opportunities that will be presented to you as we try to deal with this hijacking and what it means for the solar system of Hypatia. 2 weeks from now, on Wednesday, November 3rd, we will begin an official Choose Your Own Adventure module line that builds on the things that have happened here today, taking the viewpoint of another ship in the area as it engages with the fallout of the actions taken by the audiences we have today. Then, after the module on November 3rd is finished, 2 weeks after that, we'll have another one ready for you, which will pick up the story from whichever one of the prior module endings was most submitted to us. These modules will be shaped by and receive direction from the Council of Eberets, a group of Patreon supporters who not only have legislative authority over the most important space station in this region, but also have command authority over the ship that will be piloted by the rest of our audience. Their authority as a legislative body of the most important station in this region of space, but also as executive commanders of the spaceship that the rest of the audiences will be collectively controlling through these modules. They will have a lot of immediate opportunity to directly shape the response of the solar system to these ongoing threats and to new developments. Please be sure to like, subscribe, ring the bell, chant my name while spinning 3 times and throwing salt over your shoulder in the mirror, join our Discord server, check out our website, do all of the little things to help us get the momentum we need to be able to keep this project alive. We wish to thank all of our generous Patreon supporters who are already critical in keeping this thing moving forward. We especially wish to thank Void Spawned, our corporate overlord, and John Parker and Anonymous, the armchair generals who approved these dangerous operations. Operation Empty Magazine is a part of Celestial Horizons. It was written by Riley Jeffs, Elizabeth Frischknecht, and Nathan Young, featuring performances by Christine Smith, James Smith, Marcus Richardson, and Nathan Young, with music by Nathan Young and Marcus Richardson. Once more, please write interpretive dances about us, like, share, subscribe, do whatever you want to do. These things really help our project grow. Check out our website at celestialhorizons.io and join our Discord server to be part of the discussion. Links can be found in the description. The next installment of this series will release on November 5th. Midnight Sentry, our narrative through line, will begin on October 27th.